The silk organza whispers through my fingers as I trim another precise curve. $10,000 worth of fabric, and my sister won't even let me see her wear it. The ironing spray's sharp chemical bite fills my tiny studio, mixing with the metallic taste of blood where I've been chewing my lip raw. My phone buzzes again. Mother. Third time today? I let it rattle against the cutting table while I line up another panel, pretending the vibrations don't set my teeth on edge. Chelsea, darling. Her voicemail drips like honey laced with arsenic. I know you're upset about the guest list situation, but Gemma really needs that second fitting by Thursday. Blair's team is planning the whole social media rollout around the dress reveal, and you know how these influencer schedules are. We can't risk disappointing her. She has over 2 million followers. The iron hisses as I press another seam. Temperature too high. A faint scorch mark blooms on the silk like a bruise. I could fix it, but I don't. Let it be a scar, hidden in the folds where no one but me will know. And sweetheart, Mother continues, I hope you understand. It's nothing personal. The venue has strict capacity limits, and Blair's presence will give the wedding such wonderful exposure. Think what this could do for your business. We're really doing you a favor. I slam the iron down harder than necessary. The metal stand clangs against the table, and my coffee mug rattles. A favor. Right. Because watching some stranger Instagram my baby sister in the dress I poured my soul into is exactly what I needed. I mean, really, Chelsea? Mother's voice has that familiar edge now, the one that used to make me curl into myself like a salted slug. You're not exactly photogenic, and you know how these things go. Everyone will be watching Blair's stories. We can't have you skulking around in the background in one of your shapeless black things. It would ruin the aesthetic. The phone buzzes again. This time it's Gemma herself, probably calling to beg and wheedle like she always does. Like when she borrowed my prom dress and returned it with wine stains. Or when she convinced me to design her college graduation outfit for free, then credited some boutique on social media instead. I let that call go to voicemail too. My hands are steady as I pin another seam, muscle memory taking over while my mind drifts to the folder on my laptop. The one labeled Receipts. Screenshots of every manipulative text. Records of unpaid invoices for rush orders and endless alterations. The email where Mother explicitly promised I'd be Gemma's maid of honor, right before she offered my spot to Blair. The dress form looms in the corner, half draped in ivory silk that cost more than 3 months' rent. I've poured hundreds of hours into this gown, every stitch perfect, every detail exactly as Gemma dreamed. My finest work, and I'm not even allowed to see it worn. The iron scorches another tiny spot as my phone lights up again. This time it's Blair herself, the famous Blair with her millions of followers and perfectly curated feed. I've never met her, but I've watched enough of her stories to know her voice will be just as polished as her photos. For the first time today, I answer. Hello? Her tone is warm, professional. Is this Chelsea? I'm so excited to finally talk to the artist behind Gemma's incredible dress. I was hoping we could discuss some ideas for the reveal video. I cradle the phone against my shoulder, carefully folding the scorched silk panel. Yes, actually, I'd love to talk about the reveal. My voice comes out smooth and sweet, just like Mother taught me. I have some thoughts about how to make it really special, really authentic. The fabric whispers through my fingers as I smile, thinking of that folder of receipts. Mother always said I needed to be more strategic about marketing, time to prove I was paying attention. The group chat explodes with notifications while I'm trying to adjust the bodice measurements. Mother has added Blair to the thread, and now it's all heart emojis and exclamation points. The dress is absolutely divine, Blair gushes via text. Can't wait to capture every detail for my followers. Gemma responds instantly. I know, right? Chelsea's basically a miracle worker. My pencil snaps against the sketch paper. A miracle worker they can't even seat at the reception. The overhead fluorescents buzz like angry wasps as I squint at the marking I was trying to make. The paper's stark whiteness burns my eyes, but I force myself to keep staring until spots dance in my vision. "Chelsea, honey," Mother chimes in. "We need the waist taken in another 1/4 inch. Gemma's being so good about her pre-wedding diet." I don't respond, just add it to the growing alteration list taped beside my workstation, right under Ray's hemline, and add more crystals to train. Each modification noted in my precise handwriting, each one accompanied by a timestamp and a screenshot. Documentation matters. The phone buzzes again, and again, and again. The bustle needs to be more dramatic for photos. "Can we add some pearl details near the neckline?" Blair thinks the sleeves should be more fitted. Blair thinks. Blair thinks. Blair thinks. My shears slice through a length of ribbon with a sound like teeth snapping shut. The cut end coils like a dead snake on my work table. "Love you, sis," Gemma texts. "You're the absolute best for doing this. Heart emoji, praying hands." The same thing she texted last week and the week before. Always followed by another demand, another change, another small favor. Never followed by, "We've changed our minds. Of course you should be there." I set down my shears before I'm tempted to keep cutting things I shouldn't. The studio feels smaller than usual, cluttered with yards of fabric and unspoken words. The dress form watches me like a headless ghost, its ivory skirts gathering dust. Father's email arrives just before midnight. All business. "Need invoice for dress ASAP, for tax purposes." As if this were just another transaction. As if he hadn't promised, back when Gemma first got engaged, that this would be my gift to her. My special contribution as maid of honor. I open my laptop. The screens glow harsh in the dim studio. The folder of receipts stares back at me. I could send him those instead. Every manipulative message, every broken promise. Show him exactly what this gift has cost. But I just type up an invoice instead. Itemized, detailed, every yard of silk, every crystal, every hour of labor. No family discount. I attach it and hit send before I can think too hard about it. His response comes quickly. "This seems excessive." My laugh sounds strange in the empty studio. Excessive. Like demanding your daughter create a couture wedding gown while uninviting her from the wedding isn't excessive. The group chat pings again. Blair has sent a mood board for the dress reveal video. "We'll want to capture that golden hour light," she writes. "Make everything look magical." I click through her references. All soft focus and lens flares, models twirling in designer gowns against sunset backdrops. Beautiful, artificial, perfect for Mother's carefully curated version of our family. "Whatever you think is best," I reply, and watch the hearts and thumbs up emojis flood the chat. My phone lights up with a private message from Blair. "Hey, can we grab coffee tomorrow? I'd love to discuss the video concept in detail." I look at the dress form again, at all the tiny imperfections only I can see. The scorched silk, the slightly uneven seam, the places where the needle slipped because my hands were shaking with anger. "Absolutely," I text back. "I have so many ideas to share." The fluorescents flicker as I start packing up for the night. Tomorrow's coffee with Blair will be illuminating for everyone. The coffee shop's Edison bulbs cast a warm glow that doesn't reach the ice in my veins. I'm early, of course. Mother's voice echoes in my head. A lady is never late, and a seamstress can't afford to be. Just a seamstress. I pull up the text again. Though I've read it so many times, the words have burned themselves into my retinas. Mother to Gemma, not meant for my eyes. "Don't worry about Chelsea's feelings, darling. She's just a seamstress. This exposure from Blair will be payment enough." The barista calls out another order. Not mine. I've been staring at my untouched Americano for 20 minutes, watching the crema dissolve like my last shred of familial loyalty. My phone buzzes. Blair. "Running 5 min late. Traffic is insane." I text back a breezy, "No worries," while opening my carefully curated folder. The screenshots are organized by date, each one a perfect little dagger. Mother's casual cruelty, Gemma's entitled demands, father's cold calculations. A new message from Gemma pops up. Did you fix the bodice yet? Blair's team needs photos by tomorrow. Blair's team, Blair's schedule, Blair's vision. The coffee turns bitter in my mouth as I swallow. The bell above the door chimes and Blair sweeps in, all glossy hair and calculated casualness in her just-grabbed coffee outfit that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Her smile is genuine, though, reaching her eyes in a way it doesn't always do in her posts. Chelsea, I'm so sorry I'm late. She slides into the seat across from me, setting down an oat milk latte. Your work is absolutely incredible, by the way. I was up half the night looking at your portfolio. Thank you. I keep my voice neutral, professional. I saw your mood board for the reveal. Very curated. Right? She leans forward, eyes bright. I'm thinking we do something really special. Not just another wedding dress reveal. Those are so overdone. I want to tell a story. My fingers twitch toward my phone. I have some thoughts about the story we could tell. Perfect. I love collaborating with actual artists. So many people just want the exposure, you know? I do know. My thumb hovers over the screenshot folder. It's interesting you mention exposure. I've been thinking a lot about authenticity lately, about showing the real story behind perfect moments. Blair's perfectly shaped eyebrows lift slightly. She's sharper than her feed suggests. Go on. I have some behind-the-scenes content that might interest you. I slide my phone across the table, open to Mother's Just a Seamstress text. About family and value and what we owe each other. Blair reads silently, her manicured nail tapping once against the screen. Then she looks up at me, really looks, and I see the moment she gets it. Show me more. I start scrolling. The email about my invitation being revoked. The group chat where they discuss me like a vendor rather than family. The invoice father called excessive. With each swipe, Blair's expression grows more focused. They don't know you're showing me this, she says. It's not a question. They don't know a lot of things. I take my phone back, fingers steady now. Like how many people might be interested in the real story behind their perfect wedding? The talented sister, uninvited, but still expected to create their centerpiece. The family choosing an influencer over their own daughter. That would get attention, Blair says carefully. A lot of attention. Isn't that what they wanted? Exposure? She takes a long sip of her latte, considering me over the rim. What exactly are you proposing? I pull up the dress sketches on my tablet. I'm proposing we give them exactly what they asked for. A reveal video that shows everything. The dress. The details. I pause, let the moment stretch. The truth. Blair's smile shifts from Instagram perfect to something sharper, more genuine. You know what? I think we could create something really authentic together. I raise my cold coffee in a mock toast. To telling stories that matter. The afternoon light catches on my screen as I start showing Blair exactly how we'll unravel my family's carefully constructed facade, one perfectly documented stitch at a time. The studio door creaks open right at 7, letting in a gust of evening air and Blair's expensive perfume, something trying too hard to smell both sweet and electric, like cotton candy in a thunderstorm. This is... She pauses, taking in my workspace with the careful eye of someone who makes their living noticing details. Cozy. It gets the job done. I gesture to the dress form where Gemma's gown gleams under the fluorescence. Speaking of which... Blair circles the dress slowly, phone already in hand. The workmanship is extraordinary. Her fingers hover over the beading without touching. Your sister's an idiot. The bluntness startles a laugh out of me. Careful, aren't you supposed to be her new best friend? I'm supposed to be a lot of things. She turns, fixing me with a look sharper than my fabric shears. That's how this game works. But we both know what's really going on here. I move to my workstation, pulling up the folder of screenshots on my laptop. Do we? They're using me for clout. She shrugs, elegant even in her cynicism. And you're trying to use me for revenge. Is that a problem? That depends. She sets her phone down, all pretense of a fitting forgotten. On whether you understand what you're really asking for. The air conditioning hums, stirring loose threads on my cutting table. I'm asking for the truth to come out. No. Blair perches on my only spare stool, somehow making it look like a throne. You're asking me to risk my brand, my reputation, my relationships with other clients. Once I tell this story, there's no untelling it. I pull up the email where Mother promises me I'll be maid of honor, timestamp clear as day. So, tell me your price. It's not about money. She leans forward, vanilla ozone scent intensifying. It's about making sure this story is worth the risk. Show me everything. For the next hour, I do. Every screenshot, every email, every voicemail transcription. Blair absorbs it all with the focus of a surgeon studying X-rays, occasionally asking for clarification or context. The dress alterations alone would cost thousands, she murmurs, scrolling through my meticulous records. And they're not paying you anything? It's my gift, I say, the words ashen in my mouth. According to my father. And uninviting you was their gift back? Her lip curls slightly. Charming family. They think the exposure will be payment enough. I try to keep the bitterness from my voice. Fail. Blair sets down her phone, considering me. You know, most of my content is aspirational. Perfect moments, perfect products, perfect lives. People follow me to escape reality, not confront it. And this? She gestures at my documentation. This is real. Raw. The kind of story that could either destroy my carefully curated image or transform it into something more powerful. I feel the shift in the air, like the moment before scissors bite into silk. Which will it be? She stands, moving back to the dress. Her fingers trace the scorched seam I never fixed, so subtle only a trained eye would notice. You did this on purpose. It's not a question, but I answer anyway. Yes. There are other marks too, aren't there? Little flaws they'll never notice until it's too late. Nothing that shows in photos. A smile curves her lips, genuine this time. You're more calculating than they realize. I learned from the best. I close my laptop, the screen's glow fading. Mother always said presentation is everything. Blair picks up her phone again, but doesn't unlock it. If we do this, we do it my way. Clean, clinical, devastating. No room for them to spin it as family drama or creative differences. Agreed. And you have to trust my timing, my platform, my rules. I nod, watching her slip back into her public persona like putting on a coat. One more thing, she adds, hand on the doorknob. When this hits, it's going to hurt them, all of them. Are you ready for that? The dress form's shadow stretches across my floor, distorted and strange. They're the ones who taught me that everything has a price. Blair's answering smile is sharp as needles. Then let's make sure they pay it in full. Blair's first post is subtle, just her manicured hand trailing over the dress's beadwork, caption reading, "Sometimes the most beautiful things hide the darkest stories." Wedding drama. Behind the seams. My phone explodes within minutes. Chelsea! Mother's voice hits a pitch that could shatter crystal. What have you been telling Blair? Call me immediately! I let it go to voicemail, watching the comment count climb under Blair's post. She's good at this, dropping breadcrumbs that look accidental, responding to comments with carefully crafted vagueness. OMG, what's the tea? Someone asks. Blair. Let's just say not all family bonds are sewn with love, Gemma calls next, her voice wobbling. Chels, people are asking weird questions about the dress. What's going on? You wouldn't... I focus on hemming the veil instead of answering, each stitch precise and permanent. Blair's next post appears during my lunch break. A black and white photo of her looking pensively out my studio window, caption reading, "Sometimes the price of perfection isn't measured in dollars." Wedding industry, share family secrets. Father's email arrives marked urgent. Need to discuss social media strategy. Call ASAP. I archive it without responding and open my messages with Blair instead. They're getting nervous. She sends back a smirking emoji. Good. Just posted a TikTok about wedding industry exploitation without naming names. Watch your mother's blood pressure. Right on cue, Mother calls again. When I don't answer, she texts. This behavior is completely unprofessional. We can still rescind the dress commission. I screenshot that one for Blair, who responds with, "Perfect. Time to turn up the heat." Her next post shows her scrolling through her phone, looking troubled. Caption, "When you discover the real cost of someone else's perfect day. Full story coming soon." Wedding talk, entourage family drama. The comments section explodes with speculation. Blair likes the ones that get closest to the truth, letting social media's amateur detectives do the heavy lifting. Gemma's voice message is barely coherent. People are DMing me asking if I'm abusing my designer. This isn't funny anymore. I send that one to Blair too. She's live on Instagram within the hour, doing her makeup while casually mentioning how she's been wrestling with an ethical dilemma about exposing certain industry practices. Mother shows up at my studio that evening, unannounced. I watch through the peephole as she pounds on the door, her perfect blowout starting to frizz around the edges. "Chelsea Ann Walsh, open this door immediately!" I record her meltdown instead, the phone steady in my hands. Her voice cracks as she threatens to call her lawyer, to ruin my business, to tell everyone what an ungrateful daughter I've always been. Blair posts the audio clip an hour later, no context, just the sound of my mother's threats over a black screen with captions, "When family shows their true colors." Wedding drama, red flags. It goes viral overnight. Father tries a different approach, his voicemail all reasonable business tone. "Let's discuss this like adults. Whatever Blair's offering you, I can match it." I forward that one to Blair too. She turns it into a TikTok transition video, starting with her looking shocked at her phone, cutting to her mouthing, "You can't put a price on integrity," while screenshots of similar messages fade in and out behind her. The wedding is 3 days away when Gemma finally breaks. She shows up at my apartment at midnight, mascara streaking down her face. "Please," she sobs through the door, "please stop this. Blair won't even answer my calls anymore. Everyone's asking questions. Mom can't sleep. Dad's talking about postponing." I record that too, but don't send it to Blair yet. Just save it to my growing collection of evidence, each file named and dated with clinical precision. My phone lights up with a text from Blair. "Ready for tomorrow's finale? I'm thinking live stream, full receipts, maximum impact." Through the door, I can still hear Gemma crying. The sound should make me feel something, guilt, maybe, or satisfaction. Instead, I feel only the cool certainty of justice long delayed. "Ready," I text back. "Let's give them the exposure they wanted." I'm hand-stitching the final crystal onto Gemma's veil when my phone starts vibrating so violently it nearly dances off the table. 15 notifications in 3 minutes, then 30, then 50. The first screenshot comes from Blair. "Check your email now." Mother's message sits in my inbox like a live grenade, timestamp 8:47 p.m. Recipients, all wedding guest list, Blair, me. Pre-wedding dinner, final details. Of course that influencer girl needs the seat next to Gemma. We're not paying her in actual money, for heaven's sake. The exposure is her compensation, just like it's Chelsea's. Speaking of which, make sure nobody mentions Chelsea's absence to Blair. We'll stick to the story about venue capacity, though honestly, it's a relief not having to explain away Chelsea's awkward presence in the photos. Blair's team will give us much better content, and Chelsea's still naive enough to finish the dress for free because of family obligation. Sometimes things just work out perfectly. My hands don't shake as I screenshot it. They haven't shaken once since this started. Blair calls while I'm still reading. "It's everywhere," she says without preamble. "Your mother just accidentally dropped a nuclear bomb on her own rehearsal dinner." I can hear chaos in the background, raised voices, shattering glass, someone crying. "You're there? Front row seat to the implosion. Your father's threatening lawsuits. Gemma's locked herself in the bathroom, and about 6 different guests are live tweeting the whole thing." My laptop pings with another email, this one from Duncan, the family lawyer. "Cease and desist all social media activity immediately. Meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m. I forward it to Blair, who laughs darkly. "Bit late for that. Your mother's email is already trending. Now our wedding gate." I pull up Twitter and watch the hashtag explode in real time. Screenshots of mother's email multiply like bacteria in a petri dish. Wedding industry accounts are sharing it with commentary about exploitation. Influencer drama accounts are having a field day. Even some minor celebrities are weighing in. "The venue manager just kicked everyone out," Blair reports, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Your father tried to confiscate phones, but there are 200 guests. That ship has sailed." Another call beeps in, Gemma. I decline it and check Instagram instead. The story is spreading there too, with people digging up Blair's cryptic posts from the past week and connecting dots with frightening accuracy. "Someone found your portfolio website," Blair says. "They're calculating the value of the dress based on your other pieces. The numbers they're throwing around. Your mother's free comment isn't playing well." My phone buzzes with a text from father. "Fix this. Now." Then mother. "How dare you orchestrate this public humiliation?" Then Gemma. "My wedding is ruined." Blair's still on the line, her breath quick with excitement. "Your mother just tried to grab my phone. Said something about social media clauses and confidentiality agreements. I got it all on video." "Post it," I say, surprising myself with how calm I sound. "You sure? This is already nuclear. That video would be the fallout." Through the phone, I hear mother's voice rising hysterically. "That ungrateful little seamstress planned this whole thing." "Post it," I repeat, firmer this time. "Post everything." I can hear Blair's smile. "Already uploading. By the way, 3 bridal magazines just slid into my DMs asking for exclusive interviews. Apparently, wedding industry exploitation is very hot right now." My laptop pings again. Another email from Duncan, this one marked urgent. "Potential legal exposure reaching critical levels. Strongly advise all parties cease communication immediately." I forward that one to Blair too, who cackles. "Too late by about 3 million views. Oh wait, your mother's trying to make a statement. Hold on, let me get this." I mute my phone and turn to the dress form where Gemma's gown hangs, pristine and poisonous. Each crystal catches the light like a tiny knife. Each stitch holds a story they never thought I'd tell. My phone screen lights up with another call from father. Through the window, I can see news vans pulling up outside my studio. Twitter's still exploding, Instagram's on fire, TikTok is having a feast. I reach for my fabric shears, their weight familiar and cold in my hand. Time to start unpicking some stitches. Blair's expose drops at exactly midnight, the notification lighting up my dark studio like a flare. The video opens with her signature intro music, but cuts abruptly to silence as she stares directly into the camera. "Today, I'm not selling you a fantasy," she begins. "I'm showing you the reality behind one family's perfect wedding facade." My name trends within minutes. The dress sketches I'd shared with Blair fill screens worldwide, juxtaposed against mother's toxic messages. The estimated value of my work scrolls beneath each image like a stock ticker of betrayal. "Holy shit," Blair texts. 2 million views in 20 minutes. Your sister's wedding is officially a hashtag. My phone vibrates with another incoming call from Gemma. This time, I answer. "How could you?" Her voice cracks like thin ice. "My wedding is tomorrow, was tomorrow, and now everyone knows us as the family who exploited their own daughter." "Isn't that exactly what you did?" "I never." She stops, choking on the lie. "I didn't mean..." You meant every word, I say, watching Blair's view count tick higher. Just like mother meant every email, like father meant every threat. Please. She's crying now, that soft, hiccuping sound that used to make me cave instantly. Please take it down. We can fix this. We can make it right. Make it right? I scroll through the comments flooding Blair's post. Like you made it right when you uninvited me? When you let mother call me just a seamstress behind my back? The silence stretches between us like pulled thread. I'm sorry, she finally whispers. No, I say. You're sorry you got caught. I hang up as Blair's second video drops, this one featuring mother's meltdown at the rehearsal dinner, complete with threats and attempts to confiscate phones. The comments section explodes. The audacity of this family. Justice for the seamstress sister. That dress is worth more than their entire moral character, Blair calls while I'm reading them. Your mother's publicist just quit via Twitter. This is beyond damage control now. Good. The wedding venue posted a statement distancing themselves. 3 bridal magazines want your side of the story, and your website's crashed from traffic. I lean back in my chair, watching the numbers climb. Each view feels like a tiny needle, pricking the balloon of my family's carefully constructed image. Was it worth it? Blair asks, her voice uncharacteristically gentle. Before I can answer, another message from Gemma appears. I never meant to hurt you. You're my sister. I love you. Below it, a photo appears, us as kids, me helping her fix a torn party dress with clumsy stitches and too much glue. My throat tightens, but I force the feeling down. Chelsea? Blair prompts. You still there? Yeah. I close the photo without responding to Gemma. And yes, it was worth it. Good, because page 6 just picked up the story. Your family name is about to become synonymous with wedding industry exploitation. Our name? The one thing mother cared about more than appearances. Now it's being dragged through digital mud, one share at a time. My laptop pings with an email from Duncan. Damage control meeting 8 a.m., non-negotiable. I delete it without reading the rest. Blair's third video goes live as midnight bleeds into early morning. This one's quieter, just screenshots of my initial dress sketches, the promised payment, the gradual erosion of my place in the wedding. The comments are immediate and vicious. Eat the rich. This is why you don't work for family. That dress is couture, and they wanted it for free? The taste of victory sits heavy on my tongue, metallic like blood from biting my cheek too hard. Not sweet, but satisfying in its own sharp way. Thank you, Blair texts. This story, it's changing things, making people think. I look at the dress form one last time, at all its hidden flaws and careful imperfections, at the way it catches moonlight like a ghost of what could have been. No, I text back. Thank you for helping me tell it. The morning light streams through my studio windows, catching dust motes and possibilities in its beam. My new client, Mira, stands on the fitting platform, her eyes bright as she watches me pin the preliminary draping. I still can't believe you had an opening, she says, holding still as I adjust the muslin. After everything that happened, well, your waitlist must be insane. I smile, pins held carefully between my lips. She's not wrong. My inbox has been flooded since the scandal broke, but something about her inquiries stood out. Maybe it was the way she addressed me as Ms. Walsh Couture Designer, instead of just using my first name, or how she included her budget up front, with no hints about exposure or family discounts. The timing worked out, I say simply, stepping back to check the drape of the fabric. My phone buzzes on the workbench, probably another interview request or legal notice. I haven't heard from my family since Duncan's last stern email about mitigating public relations damage. Their silence feels like freedom. I saw the dress you made, Mira says carefully. The wedding dress? In Blair's videos? It was extraordinary. Thank you. I adjust a seam, remembering how that other dress hung, beautiful and poisonous, in this same space. This one will be better. Because you're being paid properly? Because I'm choosing to make it. She nods, understanding. The air in the studio feels cleaner somehow, scented with fresh cotton and steam from the iron, rather than the cloying mix of obligation and resentment that used to hang here. My new business cards arrived this morning, simple white cardstock with raised black letters, Chelsea Walsh, couture designer. Not just a seamstress. Never again just anything. Can I ask you something? Mira shifts slightly as I mark a hemline. How did you find the courage to stand up to them? The question catches me off guard, making my hands pause mid-pin. I got tired of swallowing their threads, I finally say. Of choking on everything they expected me to accept. My laptop dings with an email notification. Another wedding magazine wanting comment on the industry-shaking exposé. I'll delete it later, like I deleted the messages from Mother's Society friends, the passive-aggressive notes from Gemma's bridesmaids, the demands from Father's business associates. Blair's latest post included a link to my new website and a simple caption: Support actual artists. The commission started rolling in immediately. I think that's all for today's fitting, I tell Mira, helping her down from the platform. I'll have the first muslin ready next week. After she leaves, I sit at my workbench and trace my fingers over my new labels. Cream-colored silk with my name embroidered in charcoal thread. Professional. Permanent. Mine. My phone lights up with a text from Blair. Guess who just got offered a documentary deal about wedding industry ethics? We should talk. I smile but don't respond immediately. Instead, I turn to the dress I'm creating for Mira, its bones already visible in the careful draping. My sewing machine hums to life, the sound steady and sure as a heartbeat. Each stitch feels like writing my own story, one seam at a time. The late afternoon sun catches on my scissors as I cut a new length of silk. No scorched edges this time. No hidden flaws or subtle acts of rebellion. Just clean lines and honest craft, priced at exactly what it's worth. I pick up one of my labels and position it carefully in the lining. The needle rises and falls, securing my name in perfect stitches. Outside, I can hear the city moving, changing, continuing. Inside, the studio feels like a space reborn, no longer haunted by family obligations or swallowed words. My phone buzzes again. Gemma, for the first time in weeks. I miss you. I let it sit unanswered while I keep sewing, the machine's rhythm drowning out everything else. The weight in my chest isn't gone completely, might never be, but it's lighter now. Bearable. Almost like freedom. I finish attaching the label and hold the fabric up to the light, examining my work. The stitches are straight and true, each one a tiny declaration. This is who I am. This is what I'm worth. Chelsea Walsh, couture designer. Nothing more needed, nothing less accepted.